Hi, it's Elisa, and okay, so I thought I'd make another video on a couple of things, and sorry, I want to show my cleavage, and basically, yeah, I just wanted to say that things obviously get a lot better. I made a whole video about it. However, you still find yourself kind of being up and down because I myself kind of like in the past few days have had some setbacks. I'm not talking about relationship or anything like that, but I'm saying in terms of, I had somebody like a tramp calling me a man, basically. Um, well, his mate, the two of them, I was wearing a skirt, so, you know, you get more attention, and I'm very tall. Uh, and, you know, they were, he was drunk, his friend was drunk, and the friend was like, you know, oh, hi, darling, how are you? You know, and I just carried on walking. And he decided to follow me, and he decided to try to get as close as possible to my face and look at me. And he decided once he had a look, say that's a man, or it's a, you know. And I, I was very upset because I just find that, you know, like that does happen. You know, you know, some people understand it from different things, and you know, if it's not one thing, it's the other. Because I'm very tall, I thought it was, you know, at the beginning I thought, oh, my height. Now my body's changed, you know, my bum, my hips, you know, all that, the breasts and everything. So obviously they're gonna look for other physical features that can identify me as a, you know, transsexual. And I find it very hurtful. And, you know, up until a few days before, I was feeling sort of like um, more confident. And I was actually thinking maybe I don't need any surgery in terms of, you know, changing features or facial feminization. And but that threw me, you know, again in the kind of like throes of the self-doubt. But then, you know, I decided that that can happen. That can happen to a lot of people. Drunk people say a lot of things, and you know, um, I was actually watching this movie called Eyes Wide Shut with Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman, and like at one point, Tom Cruise, that in the movie plays like a perfectly straight gentleman, is walking down the street of New York, and he gets like harassed by a bunch of dudes that just decided he's like a gay, and they call him, you know, a fag and all that. And I know it's just a movie, but I thought things like that happen. You know, drunken people say things and do things, and um, you know, they just do things to be hurtful. To some people, just do things to be hurtful. And if I was to get any sort of surgery, it certainly would be to sort of to, how do you say, to as a reaction to these people, because then I would let these people make decisions for me, or you know, they would kind of win. So, but yeah, it's funny. I was saying how these things really trigger um, some self-hate that we have inside. I really start seeing myself differently. Like, you know, like ever since that happened, I think, you know, you just saw me from my profile, and I keep thinking that I have a masculine profile, that I should, you know, do something about my nose, or, you know, yeah. And I'm kind of obsessed about it. And this is what happens when these things happen. Um, However, um, I also have to bear in mind that this is my life, and I don't want to become insane. And for a lot of people, understanding that you're transgender means that you're a man. Um, Despite, your behavior, despite your appearance, despite anything, these are the things that they're going to say. And some people say it spitefully, but some people don't even say it spitefully. Some people just say it because they have no other way of saying it. Because um, sometimes they say in admiration that, wow, that used to be a man, or that is a man. And you hear that, of course you hear it. And um, or you can delude yourself in thinking that you don't hear it. In my case, I think I am the opposite. I think I have paranoia, and I hear it when people don't say it. Because sometimes I think, oh, that person just said I'm a man. But then it turns out that they speak a different language that I couldn't understand. Or sometimes it happened to me that I've heard some people saying something, so, oh, that's what they said, and turned out that they were not speaking Italian, which is the language that I understand, and I thought they were speaking. So clearly I made that up in my head. But it does happen realistically, I've got to accept it, I've got to deal with it. And what I think it would be more beneficial for me is to learn how to deal with it within myself. Because again, yes, you can get all the surgery, and you can, but I bet sooner or later somebody somehow is going to tell you something. And those triggers are still going to be there. And you will feel awful about yourself, and the whole vicious circle will start again. So, I've got to bear in mind also that I am quite fortunate particularly in terms of the way I look. I mean, in the sense that I'm not saying it with any hint of, like, I don't know. I'm just saying that I could live a normal life, or to live a normal life, where I don't. I just go out and do what I want to do, um, and these sort of things don't really happen very often. They do, but it's always due some either some guy that really actually wanted to get with you, or some girls that understand it. Um, but yeah, I live like a good life without having undergone any facial surgery or anything like that. But obviously, there's other people like me that are in a much better position, that are completely possible 100%. Um, Whatever that means. And yeah, so I have to bear that in mind as well, and not get carried away with those negative thoughts, negative feelings that are there within myself. It's almost like a dormant monster, that that always comes back. Yeah, I think that's what I need to learn. I need to learn how to deal with this monster. I need to learn that it's always going to come back, but I need to learn that maybe a possible solution is that, yes, it's going to come back, but it's going to come back less frequently, so more seldom, and for a shorter time. I think that's what could happen. And it's almost like I can have like a lot of positive things happening to me, a lot of people giving me confirmation of my femininity all day long. I can have attention from, male attention, you know, um, which is very nice. Yet one thing happens, like a Trump, ugly Trump, making a comment, and that wipes out everything, all the positive, to leave me with this negative feeling. And that's the nature of this monster. They cling on to the one thing that they don't. They kind of like let everything else slip through this net. All the positive can go. You don't keep that, but you retain the one thing to reinforce those negative ideas about yourself. That kind of self-hatred towards yourself, so that you have the confirmation that it is really like that you do look like a man, um, that you do look masculine, that you're, that you are unattractive, that you are not enough, not feminine enough, not pretty enough, no, not, not good enough or whatever. So yeah, I think that's the biggest lesson. Our feelings, not so much what happens, but what this causes within us, and how I can, I suppose, grow from it or grow through this. Because let's face it, I'm always going to be me. I'm always going to be transsexual. You know, um, it's and I'm happy to be so. It's like the choice I've made to be happy. It's been my way in my life to say, actually, I am going to choose me. I am going to choose the happiness of my soul, versus the happiness of the world, or what the expectation of society. Um, so it's fundamentally, this is an act of love that I made to myself. And as such, I'm going to be committed to this love. Alright, so I just wanted to share this with you, and that's it. Bye.